Hey, it's Mr. Zimmerman, and today we're going to continue to use an area model to factor expressions. So, let's go ahead and dive on in. So, essentially, there's two types of factoring. One where it's going to look like a trinomial, where as in number 8, we can see we have three terms. One is to the second power. But I want to draw your attention to the first couple, where you see in number 1, number 2, number 3, all of them have a shared number, 2 and 2. Here, A and A, because variables are just numbers after all. Here we have X and X. Here, there's a P and a P, because remember, P is just two P's. But number 2, I don't see it. What number do they have in common? If you can learn to immediately break numbers down into factors, you'll be able to see that 2 times 4a plus 2 times 2b. And there they have a common 2. But sometimes you could even factor numbers more. But let's go ahead. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let's look at number 1. They share a common term of 2. The GCF, the greatest common number they have in common, 2. So essentially, I want to go ahead and predict what was the inside of the parentheses before I multiplied by 2 to both of these terms. What multiplies to be 2 to be x? Well, 1x. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times what results in 2y? Well, 1y. And voila, I factored out the 2. It looks like 2 times 1x plus 1y, which is the same as saying x plus y. However, I do want to go ahead and show you that you can also use an area model where my terms, 2x and 2y, is what I get. What number do they have in common? What's the GCF? 2. Now you ask yourself, 2 times what is x? 2 times what is x? X. What results, 2 times what results in 2y? Y. Either way, I get x plus y. I'm going to continue to use the second method because the second method will be what we use in advanced factoring. But I do want you to know that you can instantly write it out. If you know what the factored form is, you could immediately jump to this point. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to go ahead and look at my two terms. I have two words in the sentence, 8a and 4b. What is the greatest common factor that they both have? Now, I could do a close examination and I could think 1 times 8 is 8, 2 times 4 is 8, and then I would do the same thing for 4, 1 and 4, and 2 and 2, and I can see that the greatest number that they have in common is a 4. Knowing your number sense, this is where it's going to pay in. If you know your multiplication facts, this is where it's going to pay off. 4 is the biggest number they have. The faster you're able to identify the GCF, the easier it's going to be. More experience is what's going to enable you to be successful. Now I think 4 times what is 8a? 2a. 4 times what is 4b? 1b. Thus resulting in the factored form of 4 times 2a plus 1b. Some awareness to be had. You don't need to write it down, but you should do a mental check. If I distribute this 4 to the 2a and the 1b, the term that results should look exactly what we started with. It should be able to go both ways between factored form and GCF. Let's go ahead and look at one more, and I'm going to go ahead and see how do I factor out a variable. So I see I have two words in the sentence, AC and AB. What do they have in common? The letter A is the GCF. A times what is AC? Just C. A times what is AB? B. It's that simple. If you want to substitute this with numbers, you can see that if this was simply 2A, the number would have to be 2. Thus, whatever number it is will be the number on top. So, I hope you guys found this useful. Basically, the way I'm going to be able to factor is by using the area model. If you, for whatever reason, don't write the positive sign, just know that when you're writing the answer, if a term is positive, you need to separate out the words in the math sentence with the plus sign. But that's it for now. Ciao.